Welcome to the highlights of the opening day of the first Test match at the Gabba. This is between Australia and India, and it's the start of a wonderful summer of cricket on Nine's Wide World of Sports. The conditions, the outfield in superb condition. Tony Greig reported quite a bit of grass on the pitch. It was his opinion, which was later confirmed, that the captain winning the toss might well send in the opposition. Well, Alan Border won the toss and put the Indians into bat. These are the team cards. First of all, the Australian side with Border captain and Geoff Marsh vice-captain, then Mark Taylor, David Boone, Dean Jones and Mark Waugh. Ian Healy, Peter Taylor, Craig McDermott, Merv Hughes, Michael Whitney and Paul Rifle, the young Victorian all-rounder, was made 12th man. That'll be a disappointment for him, but there's plenty of cricket ahead of him at this level. The Indian side, Mohammad Azharuddin skipper, Ravi Shastri as vice-captain. Chris Srikanth, Dilip Vengsarkar, Sanjay Manjrekar, Sachin Tendulkar, then Kapil Dev, Manoj Prabhakar, Kiran More, Jawagal Srinath, Venkatapati Raju, the left-arm spinner, and Praveen Amre is 12th man. So Alan Border won the toss and put India into bat just before the start of play. There was a very nice ceremony because Alan Border is now the most capped Test player in the history of the game. 126 Test matches for Alan Border. Congratulations to him from Colin Egar, the chairman of the Australian Cricket Board, and from Sunil Gavaskar, whose mark he passed today. We join the play in the 6th over. 4 runs are on the board. Michael Whitney is the bowler and Srikanth is taking strike.
Good shot. He's got that one through in the offside. I mentioned earlier as an attacking batsman, that one's into the fence, so they've scored 8 runs so far.
Srikanth went after it, but there's always a chance of an edge. Just a fraction wide. He really laid into that square drive and raced away across the fast outfield for 4.
Oh, and that one was put down. I think he may just have got a fingertip to that one. The slip cord is staggered and it hit the outside edge, definitely went in the air, and I think that would have to go down as a chance. Mark Waugh, was it, who got a fingertip to it?
It's a nice shot, beautifully timed. So far Shastri has been playing the sheet anchor role. Srikanth has been playing the shots.
That's Shastri's favorite shot. Anything on his legs, he's very good, and this one has kept it down.
Alan Border won the toss this morning at the Gabba. Asked India to bat first. They're none for 21 after 10 overs. And shouts of catch it, so Craig McDermott has got the first breakthrough. Looked to me as though it might have been a little bit of handle and a little bit of glove, but a simple catch for David Boone.
But McDermott's getting a fair bit of bounce, and yes, I think it was off the glove and the handle.
It's 1 for 21. The number 3 for India, Sanjay Manjrekar. Shouts of catch it. I thought that bounced in front. Peter Taylor, in fact, saying to Alan Border, in fact, I think he might well be asking Alan Border, did I catch it? Don't think Taylor was sure, but to me, it looked like the first bounce job right from the start. Taylor obviously wasn't sure in his own mind that he'd caught it. And you see there, the hand scooping forward and then up. Border seems fairly certain there, but you can see Peter Taylor saying immediately, I don't think I caught that. Dean Jones now comes into silly mid-off for Ravi Shastri. And edge to second slip. Mark Waugh takes it very easily, and that was a good move there by the captain. I think that could have enticed Shastri to play the drive. The fact that there was someone at silly mid-off, he probably thought this is a good opportunity to get rid of this silly mid-off. A good move there by the captain. That wasn't as easy as he made it look. It's 2 for 24. Dilip Vengsarkar, also from Bombay.
That's a nice stroke. He's very strong off his pads, Sanjay Manjrekar. Whitney gave him the opportunity there with the full pitch ball round about the pads.
Whitney trying to get the ball to swing into the right-hander.
Once again this over, it'll be up to Hughes to try to bring Van Saka forward. And he's gone, beautifully caught again. That ball flew very fast. It went straight, but it was well caught. Van Saka has gone. Merv Hughes has got him. Indecisive in playing the defensive stroke. The outside edge, and it flew straight to those very, very safe hands.
Mark Waugh has already taken one very good catch this morning. That's his second. The first wicket to Merv Hughes, and a very happy Australian team race up to embrace him. Dilip Van Saka, on the other hand, not quite so happy. And India 3 for 50.
10 hundreds and 10 50s. Got him. Slower delivery. What a good catch. Big Merv dived away to his right, deceived him with the change of pace. It may have been even a leg break. Very slow delivery. Mandrake pushed forward, got the bottom of the bat, and that was a great catch.
And to complete the brilliant work, Merv, as he was falling, threw the ball away, and David Boon at square leg caught it. Well and truly deceived by the slower one. And a good catch there from Merv, and as he flings it away, David Boon completes the catch at square leg. So the fourth wicket is down for India with just 53 on the board.
New batsman Sachin Tendulkar, only 18 years of age and under enormous pressure here at the Gabba in the first morning.
That's in the air. This is going to be out. Merv Hughes got him. Yes, he has. Underneath that one. And Big Merv doesn't drop those. It went miles up in the air. Merv Hughes had all the time in the world. And he just positions himself absolutely perfectly. Down she comes. And those safe hands clutch around the ball. And regrettably, that's the end of the Indian captain.
Short ball there. And Azhar hardly in a position to hook it. He's got a top edge, and Merv Hughes has not made a mistake, giving Michael Whitney a much needed wicket in his comeback test, and that's a bitter blow to India.
So there it is, Mohammad Azharuddin out for 10, and the score now is 5 for 67.
The new batsman is Kapil Dev.
So Merv Hughes makes his way into the dressing room, and young Paul Ruffle is out onto the ground. He's the 12th man. We'll see if we can get some information on why Merv Hughes is off the ground. Oh, good shot. Lovely shot. That one's slightly over-pitched, and that'll go down to the boundary at mid-off as well. So Sachin Tendulkar there playing a lovely straight drive. The ball slightly over-pitched, but lovely timing.
This boy can bat, and he never wastes the opportunity to score off a loose delivery. Got it right smack in the middle of the bat, and that's 4 runs.
It's not a bad shot either. He's got that one down to the boundary for 4 as well. Take that. So consecutive boundaries. Oh, he's bowled him. Nothing wrong with that ball. 350 first-class wickets to Michael Whitney. And that's the end of the little fella. Tendulkar out-bowled by Whitney by a lovely swinging Yorker, having hit 2 magnificent 4s.
Yes, those 2 boundaries must have meant Tendulkar just a little bit overconfident, but this was a very good Yorker. Played right across the line. 6 for 83 now, India. Sachin Tendulkar bowled Whitney for 16.
Welcome back to the Gabba ground here in Brisbane. The new batsman is Manoj Prabhakar.
That's a good shot, a pull shot. We don't see that played very often today. Just waited for that and put it straight into the ground. That may very well just stop but it makes it. That's the way Capel should play. He's a tall, elegant stroke player. Brings up the 100. Peter Taylor does come into the attack. He's gone for him. It's a big hit. He doesn't muck around, Capel-Dev. Crashes into the fence at mid-wicket for 4.
Capel-Dev deciding that anything pitched up to him has got to go. The field is up.
That one's not miss-hit. Hit the far side of the dog track defence there very firmly. That brings up the 50 partnership.
There are two ways of looking at it. You should have a man back there. And second way, it doesn't matter anyway if he's going to hit it that far over the fence.
Full toss, that one. And he didn't quite catch it as he would like. 6 for 140.
Hold him, knocked him over. Behind his pads. Moving across too far.
He certainly left leg stump exposed there. Keppel surprised himself there. I think how far he'd moved across. He got an awful shock when he heard the death rattle.
The feeling that might have been a slower ball from McDermott. And it had Capel-Dev playing a little bit too soon. Absolutely certain. I just had a feeling it was the one that he lets come out as an off spinner. 7 for 141.
Kieran Moray, the wicket keeper, comes in at the fall of the 7th wicket. That's nicely hit straight, and no one out for Prabhakar. It's 7 for 145.
Shouts have gone up for the glove or glove down onto the hip and then to the man at backward square, but the umpire's unmoved. So is the batsman.
Not sure he even really played a proper shot at it. Virtually just let the ball hit him.
Indian innings has ground to a halt since Capel-Dev left.
Prabhakar's wanting to come down the track, but Taylor is also anticipating that and bowling a lot flatter.
This one's a little bit more in the air. Alan Border has dropped the catch. Fairly firmly struck ball. Straight to him. It was at an awkward height. Alan Border wasn't sure whether to try and take it at the normal height or go down on the knees. He finished up almost in the prayer position. He can't believe how it's got through his hands.
It's a very rare sight, Alan Border dropping a catch.
In the air, but through the gap, down to the boundary for 4. Yes, that went flying away. Could quite easily have gone to any one of those men in that slip cordon area or the gully. As it happened, it went through the gap for 4.
Tony Gregg showed us last over. There was the gap between the gully and the slip fieldsman. The ball could be steered through. Kieran Moray's done just that.
That's well played. Jones is after it, and I'm not sure that he's going to get there. Very fast outfield. Into the fence it goes. Very good shot. So 4 runs there to Prabhakar. Let's have another look at it.
Barker working it away on the leg side. He's timed that pretty well. The outfield's very fast, even though the grass is pretty lush.
Wow, that was a stumping chance. It had to be. It seemed to be a long way down the track. Big shout from Peter Taylor. There he goes. And he survives Prabhakar. Bad luck for Peter Taylor. Beat him in flight. Slow ball. Bowled that from way back, Mervyn Hughes. He's always trying something. He bowled a leg break and picked up a wicket today. This time he used extra length.
I was talking about the subtle variations. There was nothing all that subtle about that one. There's a man down there at deep fine leg, and Hughes has cracked it. Kieran Moray has gone. Merv Hughes has bowled pretty well today. He was just a little untidy early on, but a good effort. Michael Whitney has a safe pair of hands. It's now 8 for 186.
This is the break they were searching for. He got one in short. Moray, who's played pretty well round about leg stump, taken 1 or 2 on the body, finally went for the hook shot. Hit it straight down Michael Whitney's throat. Didn't have to move, had to be caught. Good pair of hands. It's a vital breakthrough by Mervyn Hughes and supported by Whitney. Good effort by Moray. It's 8 for 186.
So we think the batsman at the non-striker's end is the spinner Venkat Raju, the left-arm orthodox spinner. And for his trouble, Craig McDermott having a bit of bad luck there. I think the ball just carrying to Peter Taylor, but he couldn't hang on to it.
Difficult chance. He did dive. Yes, he got his fingers to it, but couldn't hold on.
And just overboard his head, giving Rifle a chase, and that brings up 200 for India at the end of the 82nd over. And taken by Ian Healy. A pretty easy one there for Healy, and a well-deserved reward for Craig McDermott.
Raju pushing out at that one. That's what McDermott has been aiming for right through the day.
It's 9 for 206. Javagal Srinath making his test debut.
He's gone for that. That's a good shot for Barker, hitting that on the up. He moves to 49. It's a glorious shot. Showing a bit of fight, this man. Very good innings.
It's been a very disciplined innings for Barker. He's worked hard. He's been prepared to spend some time at the crease and work for his runs, which wasn't evident in the early part of the Indian batting this morning. They appeared not to be able to discipline themselves to wait for the scoring opportunities, but Barker has done it and done it very well.
And that's 50. That's a well-made 50. It's 50 in Test cricket. It's a generous round of applause. A fighting knock for his team on the first day of the first Test match. 6 fours and 141 balls faced. It's nicely timed. Flexion racing away, and that's 4. Maybe leg buys. What's up on McConnell? Now off the bat, the leg ground spins up 4. It's got him away again. This time it's through mid-wicket. May not go all the way. They should run 4 if they're quick. It's going to be close. He's slow starting off, and that's good running. And a good over for India. 9 for 235. Strength on 21 faces McDermott, looking for his 5th wicket. And that's it. 5 for Craig McDermott. India all out for 239. Fine effort from Craig McDermott. By far the best bowl. Good support from Whitney and Hughes, but it's been McDermott's day here at the Gabba.
Srinath, the number 11 batsman in his debut in Test cricket, facing the best of the Australian fast bowlers.
McDermott richly deserved that last wicket. He bowled well all day. There was a little flurry from the tail-enders against him, but he thoroughly deserved the 5 wickets. This is the card of the Indian innings. The Australians did wonderfully well after Border won the toss and had them bowled out for 239. The early collapse there, it looked at one stage as though they might not make any more than 150. The tail wagged. Prabhakar, very, very good innings there. 54 not out, 19 to Moray, and Raju 12 and Srinath 21, with Kapil Dev providing the impetus in the middle of the innings by making 44 before he was bowled behind his pads by McDermott. The bowling figures for Australia, the 3 pacemen did wonderfully well, I thought. There wasn't much in the pitch for them, a little bit of bounce and perhaps a bit of movement off the seam, but this was a good batting track. McDermott 28.1 overs, 11 maidens, 5 for 54. Whitney 21 overs, 2 maidens, 2 for 82, and Hughes 20 overs, 5 maidens, 3 for 34. I thought Hughes bowled pretty well out there all day, particularly when you take into account that he had a slightly strained hamstring muscle. 1 over for Mark Waugh, who's been off the field with a side injury, and Peter Taylor unlucky. 2 chances dropped, 1 by Border, 1 by Healy, finishing with none for 56 from 18 overs. So 239 for India in their first innings. Australia will start their innings at 11 o'clock tomorrow. We'll be on air at 10:50 Eastern Summer Time. For the moment, it's goodbye. Conditions good again at the Gabba for the second day's play in this Test match. The Australians, the opening pair, Mark Taylor and Jeffrey Marsh, having to go out to face the Indian opening bowlers. It was overcast at the start of the day, but then it fined up and the sun was shining when there were 7 runs on the board in the 8th over. Prabhakar is the bowler coming in, and taking strike is Mark Taylor.
Nugent's going to race away for 4. Not a convincing stroke, but 4 runs. Marsh and Taylor just struggling a bit here against this swing attack. Safe enough, no chances, but not a lot of confidence shown by the batsman.
Yes, with this sort of attack, you've got to grab every catch that goes. That one going along the ground all the way. No chance at all there, but you've got to save every run and catch everything that comes your way.
Nice stroke, gets the half volley away. Taylor coming back to the 3rd, good running. So the shackles are broken, a 4 and a 3. It's the first convincing stroke from Mark Taylor, nice off drive.
It's pretty well run by Mark Taylor. Forced the issue, knowing that he was going to the danger end if they went back for 3.
Oh, there it goes. Ian Chappell's talking half a chance there. As Radin goes across, I think he got a hand to that. And down it went.
With bowlers of this pace, you've got to be up where you're going to get the catches.
That's a good shot. Right into the gap on the offside. That'll be 4. Onto the front foot and whack. Marsh really has given that one a touch up.
Prabhakar has bowled pretty well this morning. This one just a little bit more full than some of his earlier deliveries, and Jeffrey Marsh very confidently into position. Full face of the bat. Much of a follow through, but you don't need it when you time the ball that well.
This young man took a hat-trick on his first-class debut. Not many can say that. Not many have taken hat-tricks. But then again, this is a Test match. A slightly different ball game. And his fingers right down the seam there, ready to charge in. Try and get rid of Taylor, who's on strike at the moment. Oh, let that one go. Now, the batsman could go after that if he wanted it, but wide's been called, and that's an understatement. That was a huge wide.
That was a wide and a high.
Whew. Where's that going?
Kapil Dev to bowl. Greeted with a fierce square cut. One of Jeffrey Marsh's favourite shots.
Slightly in the air when he cut that. Kapil giving him a short ball, and but he found the gap over there.
That brings up the 50 partnership. And they'd be very satisfied with that. Just exactly what the doctor ordered from Australia's point of view. 143 balls. And those are the details. So Marsh and Taylor doing it again. It's the commentary position, just above the screen. It's well played. Swung a bit, but was over-pitched and nicely hit into the gap there. The ball running very quickly over the surface, and into the fence it goes for 4. So Taylor will be very happy with that one. A very good shot.
Second boundary for Mark Taylor. Much more convincing than the first one.
We smashed that one. That was a bit short, and he's onto it in a flash. Pulled it away in front of square into the gap, mid-wicket. And it's gone smashing into the fence. Way down there, that long boundary Ian Chappell was talking about. It's also a very good shot.
He's more of a front foot puller than a back foot puller, Mark Taylor.
Srinath is now taking up the bowling from the Vulture Street end. Wide of off stump, and that's no place to bowl to Jeff Marsh.
Marsh is a very good cutter of the ball. Earlier in the innings, he had cut uppishly, but this time he got right on top of the ball and hit it all along the ground.
Raju to continue. Jeffrey Marsh again playing his favourite shot, the cut, to bring him 4 runs, because Srikanth not able to make any ground on the ball.
One more square cut from Jeff Marsh, and the Indians must really pitch the ball up to him because he's so strong on the cut.
Ball him, that's the end of him. Straight through his defences. Marsh is on his way, and India have struck at last. They've been desperately looking for a wicket, and at last they've got one.
And a good effort by this young man on debut, knocking over Jeff Marsh when the score was 95. He was getting the ball up a fraction further. Sonny Gavaskar has been saying he's just been a fraction short, but finally gets the length just right. Ball just nips back a bit in between bat and pad, entice the drive. That's a fine delivery.
So Marsh out for 47, trying to be just a little bit aggressive there, hitting the ball down the ground, trying to play it straight actually. He missed it, over went his off stump, and it's 1 for 95.
David Boone is the new batsman.
Going to go for that sweep shot, and this time he's got it away nice and fine. So 2 to Taylor, and it brings up the 100. Taylor getting a little bit of a bottom edge on that one. So the 100 registered on the scoreboard there now, with Taylor on 44.
Boone should look for 3 here. Yes, and will get it easily as it turns out, but I think might have gone for it anyway. That's Shrikant down there. Not a very strong arm. It's 1 for 113. That's the 50 for Mark Taylor. Good running from David Boone. He was off straight away. A half century for Mark Taylor. His first 50 against India. It's his debut game. 143 balls and 3 fours. Well, he had it, and then eventually it got away from him. Tendulkar, it was a great effort. Picked it up, I think, fractionally late. Got in after it, caught it and just jarred it out as he turned and rolled.
He was down there in front of the Sir Leslie Wilson stand. Taylor had actually advanced down the track before playing the sweep. And a good diving effort. At that stage he had it, but may not have got it right in the middle of the hands, I'd say. That was the problem.
The Indians have to take every half chance that comes their way, considering the wicket, which is improved from yesterday.
Oh, and that would have been close. It's gone flying past the stumps and it's cut off down to the boundary. They'll get 1 overthrow for this. Be very interesting to see if that would have been out had the ball hit the stumps. I suspect it may have been. Have another look at this.
Well, Sachin Tendulkar, the one who missed that catch earlier on, or half chance one may call it, having a shy at the stumps.
This is the last ball of the over. He's hit that one straight down the ground. See you later there. That one's into the fence for 4. Lovely shot by David Boone. Magnificent shot, this one. David Boone using his feet here. Down the wicket he goes. Smash and past the stumps down the other end and into the boundary for 4.
Tendulkar coming into the attack with his right arm medium paces. That's going to be 4 more, or pretty close to it. Tara onto the back foot. That's a superb stroke. It's going to go into the gutter. Tendulkar not working for his captain here. Too short at medium pace and giving some width to Mark Taylor, who's cut loose. That's what's needed now to take the attack from the scruff of the neck. And now there's going to be a change, a man coming across from the onside to the offside to give him some strength there, but he's halfway almost and Taylor's back, plenty of time. Changing the weight onto the back foot and placed that beautifully. A 50-run partnership between Taylor and Boone for 145 deliveries faced in 95 minutes. It's excellent running. Taylor just struggling a bit against the breeze, but finally gets home safely. He's just starting to find the gaps now. Confidence is growing. Much India can do, but keep it tight and take a half chance if it comes. There it is, 4,000 runs for David Boone as he finds a gap at cover point. He moves to 21.
Well, he's been on 3,999 for a long time, but brings up these 4,000 runs in Test cricket with a very well-struck cover drive off the back foot, just a little bit shorter from Raju. David Boone goes along to 4,003 runs in Test cricket, the 11th Australian batsman to achieve that target. He's joined his captain Alan Border, who is well over the 4,000 runs, and a few old-timers.
Nicely timed. Starting to get his feet in the right position, and the timing is coming back. Mark Taylor has fought very hard in this innings to get something like his best form, And I think he would feel that it's just starting to come back.
Yes.
And he's been given by Steve Randell. He waited a long time. I think the umpire might have been waiting to see if Taylor was going to walk of his own accord. Taylor decided he wasn't, and it would appear that it might have come off the gloves, and Veng Saka finished up taking a pretty easy catch. So a wicket there for Raju, and that's pretty good reward.
Raju has been trying to get Taylor on the sweep. This time, finally getting him. The intended sweep going up in the air. Mark Taylor out for 94.
It's Alan Border playing in his 126th Test match. That's well hit into the Clem Jones stand. So Alan Border signalling his intentions there. Australia 2 for 188.
Oh, and there's that quicker one, and that surprised Border too. Now, that's the delivery I was talking about that surprised Boone. And he's now done it to Border. It's also the end of the over, and the score is 2 down for 199. Another one to Boone. This is a very, very good field when it comes to drainage. Quite a lot of rain fell last night. It brings up the 200, actually, that single. Oh, he loves that one. He smashed it, Miles. It's going almost into the fig tree. What a magnificent pull shot there by Alan Border. It went way over the dog track and almost into the fig trees down at square leg. What a shot.
I'm here to tell you that that is not only the shot of the day, and there have been some good ones, it may even turn out to be one of the great shots of the season. That ball wasn't very short at all. I think Kapil Dev was probably starting to think that there might have been a prospect of taking a wicket with it.
A lovely straight drive by Boone, so it's very definitely catching. Boone, following the example of his captain, smashes that one straight down the ground, and he moves on to 48.
Two beautiful strokes right out of the textbook in this over. One, the late cut, which you don't see all that often these days because of the pitches having slowed up, and secondly, the use of the feet to beat the fielder at mid-on.
That's his 50. Into the gap on the offside. Won't quite reach the boundary. He may well come back for the 3, though, which will take him on to 51. So while it's taken him quite a while, he's been very solid, and his mind will be on the 35 minutes or so to go today, and then the whole of tomorrow.
2 for 227, 51 to Boone and 24 to Border. The men out: Marsh 47, Taylor 94. Still some dark clouds around, but these two batsmen carrying the attack quite beautifully to the Indian bowlers. It's a measure of the way they've increased the tempo, that at one point they were struggling, looking as though they wouldn't reach 200, and now suddenly with the new ball coming up at 85 overs, the total already is 227. That increased tempo came straight after tea with Taylor and Boone. Now it's Prabhakar to bowl from the Stanley Street end.
Into the gap. So Boone beginning to find the gaps now and the meat of the bat. And that's into the boundary. So another 4 to David Boone, and what's more, that 4 brings up the 50 partnership between these two in just 71 balls.
Played some lovely shots in the last few overs. So too has Border. The placement has been good. I think that was one of the reasons Boone appeared to be going slowly early on, that his placement of the ball wasn't as good as he'd have wished. He kept on hitting it to the fielders instead of between them.
The umpires have had a good long chat, but they've decided the light is okay at the moment. That would have been the discussion, I'm sure. And the discussion now is between the captain and Prabhakar, who has taken the new ball. And a big shout from the keeper, and quite a bit from the slips as well. Now, is this because of the light, or are they discussing whether the ball carried to the keeper? They're certainly not discussing whether the ball carried, because it carried quite easily. And with the taking of the new ball, they've decided that the light is too difficult for the batsman. And I would doubt very much if they're going to get back out on the field.
And that sadly was the end of it for the day. The umpires made the right decision because those storm clouds were gathering, the covers were brought out, put on, and it was left then to the players to carry it through till 6 o'clock in the dressing room. Just a reminder of the way things finished. You had the Australian batting figures, 2 for 235, and a terrific performance from them after rather a sluggish start. Marsh and Taylor, a good partnership of 95, but the Indians got on top in the second session, and it needed some explosive batting from Taylor, and then Boone after he struggled at the beginning, and Border, who was in touch from the start, to get the Australians up to 2 for 235. 47 to Marsh, 94 to Taylor, and David Boone is 59 not out, and Border 24 not out. The Indian bowling, well, they stuck at it for most of the day. A lot of the bowling was done by Venkatapati Raju, 27 overs, 4 maidens, and 1 for 83. Kapil Dev, none for 43. Prabhakar, none for 42. Srinath, I thought, a good debut. 18 overs, 3 maidens, 1 for 52. He's a tall lad, and he got plenty of bounce out there, and just a single over for Tendulkar. We'll be back at the Gabba for the third day's play of this Test match, which is assuming great interest now at 10:50 a.m. tomorrow. That's Eastern Summer Time. For the moment, it's goodbye. So the third day began in good conditions. Forecast the possibility of a shower later on, but mainly fine and sunny. But the problem for the Australians was that the second new ball had been taken the previous evening, and only 2 balls bowled with it, and now they had to face Kapil Dev and Prabhakar. We joined play in the 6th over with this second new ball. It's 2 for 242. Kapil Dev is the bowler coming in to David Boone.
That was an in-swinger, and is there a mix-up? He's having a shy at the stumps, and he's missed. Well, I don't know whether Alan Border would have been just home there if it wasn't just home. It was just out, but doesn't matter now because the throw was wide.
Kapil Dev moving very quickly. He ran in front of Alan Border. Alan put the brakes on. Throw had hit there. I think he was in a bit of trouble.
Yes, he was in about a foot's trouble. Oh, he's bowled him. That's a magnificent delivery. And you can see by the smile on Dev's face, he really did enjoy that. He's got through the defences of one of the best batsmen in the world. Back has gone the off stump. And so the Indians have struck early on this, the third day.
Well, it's taken an extra good delivery to get an extra good batsman out here. The in-swinger that Tony's talked about swung in quite late, got through between bat and pad, and it's just hit the top of off stump. Kapil Dev is very happy to get his first wicket and delighted to get rid of Alan Border.
Well, Dean Jones is out in the centre now. He's played 45 Test matches, a batting average in Test cricket of 46. He's had a tremendous start to the summer. Oh, he's got him off. No, he hasn't. I tell you what, this is a different ball game, this Test cricket. He's scored 243 and 214 in Shield cricket so far this season, and he was very nearly out first ball.
Well, if Alan Border's delivery was a good one, this is a fair delivery to get first up. This one's swung very late and kept going off the wicket. Dean Jones has got bat and pads and everything going in all directions. It's just missed the outside edge and it's just missed off stump, and Kapil Dev can't believe it.
What a delivery. Bowled him! Good night, Charlie. He's on his way. That's the end of Dean Jones. He has a little look over his shoulder there. The stumps are spread all over the place. And boy, the Indians are laughing.
We've seen a couple of pretty good deliveries in this over from Kapil Dev. He's just got this new ball starting to swing. First of all, he's got Alan Border with one that swung back into him between bat and pad. Just taken the bail off stump. Then Dean Jones has come and played and missed the first one. He played and missed the second one. Straight through the gate. He did well to move the bat out of the way to let that one through. Let's clip the top of off stump as well.
Yes, well, that's the end of Dean Jones, and what a blow to Australia. Border and Jones in quick succession. Jones out for a duck. 4 for 244.
And taken by the keeper, Moray. A pretty straightforward catch. And Prabhakar has got his first wicket. Just a little edge there from David Boone. So it's been a good morning for the Indian pace bowlers.
Yes, it was a fairly loose shot there by David Boone, a fairly casual shot. Neither forward nor back, neither a push nor a drive. And Prabhakar very excited at getting that wicket. He's been toiling very hard on that off stump, and he's finally got the reward that he's been looking for.
It's 5 for 265. Ian Healy, who's a batsman with a very good temperament. And dropped at first slip. I think first slip Vengsaka was put off there by the wicketkeeper. And now they're going to get 2 extra runs, as well as having the chance go down. That really, I think, was a keeper's catch. First slip should never, ever be taking a catch on his left-hand side. And there's a big shout there, and umpire Randell has given him. Mark Waugh attempting to get the bat out of the way, and it's either clipped a bit of the bat or, more likely, I think, clipped the gloves on the way through. But it's done the job, and Mark Waugh is on his way.
The previous delivery had given Mark some kind of problems, and here trying to sway out of the way of the ball. Good bit of thinking by Srinath, because he went wide of the wicket and bowled that short ball. He was bowling from close to the wicket, but for this particular delivery, he went wide of the stumps and let fly a short pitch delivery.
It's 6 for 278. Peter Taylor, a very stubborn customer with the bat. Big shout there from Prabhakar, and there's the 5th wicket of the morning. Ian Healy attempting to play the pull shot on one that didn't get up, and he's caught him right in front. So Prabhakar getting his 2nd wicket of the morning. Ian Healy.
It's been a busy morning for Prabhakar. He's been bowling non-stop.
And Australia are now 7 for 280. And Merv Hughes is now out there to join Peter Taylor.
Well, we smashed that one in the air. It's gone way down the ground. A few bounces and into the fence at wide mid-off. So Merv's not going to waste any time. That was slightly over. Well, it really wasn't. It was a length ball just outside off stump. Merv may have decided that it was going to go anyhow.
He's got a fair bit of bat to this. I'm not sure he'd been too popular with his captain if he's holed out, because there's a long way to go yet.
Just a light shower falling here at the Gabba at the moment. Australia on 7 for 299, having just come back from the luncheon break. Tail end of a heavy dark cloud hanging over the ground. I don't imagine that this shower will be particularly heavy or around for too long. Kapil Dev bowling to Merv Hughes. Merv will be looking for 2 here. That brings up the Australian 300, 7 for 301. 62-run lead on the first innings. Mervyn Hughes in partnership with Peter Taylor at the moment. Both batsmen are in double figures. Merv Hughes has just moved to 11. Peter Taylor just surveying the sky to see how much more of that rain is likely to be around. Quite cloudy and overcast, not particularly threatening. And that's bowled him. Kapil Dev straight through Mervyn Hughes. Merv Hughes looking to play it down the ground. Played all over the top of that one. Relatively innocuous delivery, but it was straight. Merv Hughes is on his way back to the pavilion.
Kapil Dev's been trying to get the ball to move away. The outswinger, which he had lost over the last few years, but this one came back into Merv Hughes.
Australia 8 for 301. Craig McDermott looking to improve on his career average of 10.87. It's a bit straighter, and Craig McDermott has gone over the leg side field. 3 bounces into the boundary. 2 scoring shots to Craig McDermott, 2 boundaries.
Kapil Dev from the members' end to Craig McDermott. It's a catch, and he's got him. Beautiful piece of bowling and a fine catch at first slip.
Azharuddin, the man at first slip, and Kapil Dev, the best of the Indian bowlers, picking up his 4th for the day. Azharuddin taking that one quite comfortably. So Craig McDermott, his innings comes to an end. Just going enough and going quite late. That's a very good catch. Coming forward and to his right, Azharuddin, the best of the Indian fielders, and a good catch. So it's now 9 for 316. Mike Whitney comes in at number 11.
What a wonderful record. What a great all-rounder.
Yes, Kapil Dev here has had a really good day today. He wouldn't have been happy with his performance yesterday.
It's a good shot. The boundary. Might have to take issue with you on Malcolm Marshall, Bill.
Yes, well, I had to think about that, but I think he's quite a capable all-rounder. Certainly not in the class of the other 3, 4, but certainly a very handy all-round cricketer. But this man here, Taylor's proving a stumbling block for India. It was just a half bowler, and he punched it 3 mid off his 3rd boundary. There's always going to be 4 valuable runs.
It's fairly well hit. Taylor's going to take the 3rd. So Whitney is on strike. So the lead now up to 100.
In the air and out. Well taken. Good catch. Beautifully caught there at mid-off. Raju diving away to his right there. This will go down as a classic catch, I should think. It was hit very firmly. wide delivery. He went for it, and have a look at that. 2 hands to it, and he managed to hang on to it, and he was happy about that one. And we'll be back here at the Gabba with Richie Benaud in just a moment.
That was a great performance from the Indian bowlers to bowl out the Australians for 340 at the start of play. It looked as though the Australians would get away from them with Boone and Border in such good form. There's the scorecard of the Australian innings. 340 Mark Taylor, top score with 94 and Boone 66. And the bowling figures for India dominated by Kapil Dev, 4 for 80 from 34 overs and 9 maidens. Prabhakar 2 for 88 and Srinath 3 for 59. So what was needed now by the Australians was a concerted effort, and they had to bowl with great control. In the first innings, it was McDermott and Hughes who did the job. In the second innings, Border has called upon the enforcer Merv Hughes. He bowls the second over now, no runs on the board, and Srikanth is taking strike.
It's in the air, it's gone, yes, he's out. Caught in the same position, it's 1 for none. Good bowling, good captaincy, the ball cutting back. Bit of bat and thigh powder popped up and Boone did the rest. India didn't want to lose an early wicket, but Big Merv with his heart and pace has broken through.
Srikanth has been out of the Indian side for a couple of years now, making his comeback, and it has been a very unhappy comeback for him. Hasn't got runs at all in this game. A duck here. India 1 for 0.
Sanjay Nandraker, who batted very well in the first innings, he looked very composed. McDermott down the hill. Oh, good shot, good start from Ravi Shastri. That should go all the way. Just straight on the leg stump, and he picked him off beautifully.
Shastri shuffling across to the off stump and making the bowler bowl to his legs, where he is very strong.
The Australians, I believe, bowling a better line than they did in the first innings. They're making the batsman play around about off stump. That's out! What a catch! A gem! That's a classic! David Boone takes a beauty at short leg. You shouldn't catch those. He punched that to short leg, and Boone was like a viper striking, clutched it with both hands, and it's 2 for 14.
Mandraker plays that shot off the hips very regularly, plays it uppishly most of the time, and here Boone has taken a really brilliant catch, firmly struck, but Boone was right there.
It was a gem by David Boone. It's 2 for 14. Philip Pensaka, the new batsman. Hughes, 2 wickets against his name. The short run, 1 ball. It's close. He's got him. Yes, come in front. Pensaka out for a duck. It's 3 for 14. Well, he come off the short run because of the time. 3:39. It was enough to do Pensaka, and India on the ropes. And the players leaving the ground for tea. What a sensational session for Mervyn Hughes. He shuffles across. Ooh, there's a bit of angle there. Would have taken leg stump. Yes, says umpire Peter McConnell. He's the man in charge. Pensaka out for a duck. Hughes 4 overs, 3 maidens, 3 for 4.
Yes, they look as if they're enjoying the cricket. Good shot. Straight down the ground for 4. Slightly over pitched that one, and just a little wide from Merv Hughes, and Mohammad Azharuddin smashing it to the boundary at mid-off. In the air, he's got him! David Boone again, and Merv Hughes, the terrible twins. My goodness. They really are doing it for Australia out there today. David Boone is having a ball, and Merv Hughes doesn't mind a bit of it.
That wasn't so well played at all by Azharuddin, knowing that there are so many fieldsmen there on the onside, and that was catching practice for David Boone. So they're proving a terrific combination, Hughes and Boone, and currently they've got India reeling at 4 for 32.
Tendulkar is the new batsman.
And that's out. He's gone. He's looked pretty good up till now, but a very good delivery from Craig McDermott. A very straightforward catch there to Ian Healy. Plenty of excitement in the Australian camp. Not very much in India's camp.
That is a classic dismissal. The perfect away swinger, which probably on replay will keep on going after it hits the seam. And he's done most things right, but he had the bat angled instead of perfectly straight down the pitch. That is very well bowled by Craig McDermott. Now that's 5 down now and 47 on the board.
Kapil Dev, the wrecker of the Australian innings this morning, will not be happy to be out there now as a batsman.
And he's pulled that, and that's 4. It's a glorious shot.
And that's Kapil Dev's natural game. And anytime he sees a loose ball, he's going to have a go at it. This one is hit it smack in the middle. And he doesn't even bother to run. He knows it's gone for 4.
That's a good shot. He's picked him off beautifully. He's timed it to perfection. It's racing down the hill. Whitney's putting in the big ones. Won't make it. 4 more. Well, what a fine little innings. This is 5 boundaries in 29. He's only faced 20 balls. So Kapil Dev replying in attacking fashion. There it is, and he's gone. Straight to first slip, Mark Waugh, the safe pair of hands. The end for Kapil Dev. Good piece of captaincy, good piece of bowling, and Mark Waugh did the rest.
Kapil was just looking dangerous, trying to cut a ball too close to him. Earlier on, he had escaped when the ball had fallen short of Mark Waugh, but this time it was at a very comfortable height.
Now for 25, it's now 6 for 87. Prabhakar, the batsman.
In the air and over the top of gully.
Merv not very happy with the result of that one. India's 100 comes up, nearly enough to make Australia bat again. Prabhakar deciding that the best method of defence on this occasion was attack. For the 2 close-in fieldsmen, he just worked his way back towards the leg side. Just the up and under.
6 for 104, a terrific performance from the Australians there. That's the Indian card with just the 2 men, Shastri and Kapil Dev, doing anything worthwhile there. And a magnificent performance from Merv Hughes, who came in there, bowled so magnificently, 4 for 31, 12 overs and 4 maidens. McDermott in there again with 2 for 30. So in effect, the Indians are 6 for 3 with 2 days remaining. A great performance from the Australians led by Alan Border, who captained them wonderfully well today.
The Australians, I believe, bowling a better line than they did in the first innings. They're making the batsman play around about off stump. That's out! What a catch! A gem! That's a classic! David Boone takes a beauty at short leg.
Magnificent catch by David Boone there, typical of the way the Australians have played this game, and that got rid of Manjrekar. Tremendous stuff. Welcome to the highlights of the 4th day. Let's take you back now through what's been happening in the game to date at the Gabba. First of all, 239 the Indians made after Border put them into bat, with Prabhakar making 54 not out and 44 to Kapil Dev, 239 in total. In reply, the Australians 340. Top score Mark Taylor 94, David Boone 66, and then the Indians 6 for 104 at the close of play yesterday evening, with Ravi Shastri on 37 and Prabhakar on 9, and they were in real trouble there. Another top order collapse and some superb bowling from Mervyn Hughes. He had 4 wickets, the first 4 to fall there, and the other 2 went to Craig McDermott, who continued to show excellent form. Well, conditions for the 4th day, quite good. There was the threat of a shower around. The pitch was good, according to Tony Greig, still very firm. And we join play now in the 3rd over. It's 6 for 111. Mervyn Hughes, the enforcer, is coming into bowl, and he's bowling to Prabhakar.
Merv Hughes, and that one's in the air and wide of the 3rd slip there, Border. It's gone down to the boundary. Shastri, with his hands on his hips down at the non-striker's end, not very happy with that shot at all.
One thing you can say about Prabhakar's batting, that when he decides to have a dash outside off stump, he plays a full-blooded shot. So if he does get an edge, as he did on that occasion, it's really flying, and it flew well out of reach and well over the slips.
Well, that's a good shot. Magnificently played on the offside. Running down towards the boundary there. It won't quite make it. They'll get 3. It's just going back to Ravi Shastri's reaction. I don't think he wants to restrict this youngster in terms of his shot making at all. But you watch him down at the non-striker's end. That's Ravi Shastri following through there. And up goes his hand onto his hip, as if to say, now what are you doing?
Craig McDermott continuing his sound form. It's his career record there in front of us. 3,756 runs against his bowling. That doesn't sound very good, but when you look at the rest of it, 129 wickets. The average of 29, it's very impressive. And the way he's bowling at the moment can only get better. Oh, that's a good delivery. It's got the outside edge. Ravi Shastri, ever watchful, is now on his way. Ian Healy completing the catch, and Craig McDermott adding to his very impressive career record.
Shastri has been struggling with that ball outside the off stump. He tends to push at it. That's exactly what he's done here. And he really has to try and play close to the body.
Craig McDermott's 50th wicket in this calendar year, and India 7 for 136. Kieran Moray, the new batsman for India.
Close. Yes, he's got him. That's plumb. Fine bowling, good line, good length and genuine pace. McDermott strikes and picks up his 4th wicket.
The batsman didn't seem to be able to work out whether he should worry about whether or not the ball would have hit the stumps or whether he hit it. Well, it didn't look as though he hit it, and it certainly didn't look as though it would have missed the stumps. That's well bowled. He's beaten for pace. Didn't look as though he got anywhere near it there, Kieran Moray. LBW to McDermott, and that is 8 for 140.
5 past 2's coming into play. New batsman Raju, the 22-year-old left-arm spinner, is a right-handed batsman. He's facing McDermott, who has 4 for 45. It's pretty well played. Good line, good pace, right behind that. But McDermott's certainly been the pick of the bowlers this morning. That was a plumb LB. Umpire McConnell, no problems whatsoever giving that out. That would have taken middle and maybe middle and leg, but certainly that was plumb. He was out for 1. Look at stump vision. The height was perfect. An easy decision. There's not many easy decisions to give with LBs, but that was going to knock him right over. Fine delivery. That's out, and what a catch. Healy going across in front of first slip. Takes a gem of a catch. Prabhakar's out to the angle of Whitney, and that's superb wicket-keeping on the 4th day, diving way across with his right hand and caught it as clean as a whistle. That's a superb performance by the Australian in the field.
And also it's a measure of the improvement in Ian Healy, that he's so confident to go for something like that and not pull out of it at the last moment. That is very, very good wicket-keeping. Outstanding stuff from Ian Healy. Well bowled by Michael Whitney to slant it across the batsman, but brilliant stuff from Ian Healy. 9 for 142.
Srinath, the number 11 at the crease. Well, that was we've seen some great catches by Boone at short leg, and the slip cord was caught well, but Ian Healy put off a great wicket-keeping catch there. He had to make up his mind whether he'd go in front of Mark Taylor. It wasn't low, it was quite a high catch, in fact. He threw himself horizontal and caught it beautifully.
The standard thing is that if the keeper can get to it, if he's confident he can reach it, then he keeps going. That's exactly what Healy has done. That comes with confidence. Srinath, who played very well in his debut innings in this Test match. That's off the mark there with the boundary off Michael Whitney. I think there was a time when Ian Healy mightn't have gone for that catch. He might have left it for the first slip, but he is keeping well. He probably knows he's keeping well, and he's full of confidence in the things he does. It was good judgment, apart from being a brilliant catch. Good judgment to decide in that split second that he would go for it.
Well, Tyson punishes that with a nice off drive. That'll be 4. Comes up to 150 for 9.
All these runs are valuable for India. Alan Border will be keeping one eye on the weather. There are some clouds around. There's a forecast of a shower or two. You just never know with these things. So the full toss and the boundary, not precisely what the Australian skipper would have been planning. Nor Whitney, for that matter.
Michael Whitney looking for a couple of wickets, I would think. He would realise that Bruce Reid's performance for Western Australia would have him breathing down his neck, and he gets his second one. So 2 wickets in the innings for Michael Whitney, and the Indians all out for 156, giving them a lead of 55. Australia needing 56 runs now to claim victory in this first Test match.
Michael Whitney using the angle very well. Raju driving wide of the body. Ian Healy, after the last catch, that was pretty straightforward. Happy Michael Whitney. So India all out. Successful bowlers. Michael Whitney with 2 wickets and 4 each to Merv Hughes and Craig McDermott. We'll be back here at the Gabba shortly.
That is a great effort from the Australians to bowl India out for 156. Superb bowling, excellent fielding, some brilliant wicket-keeping from Ian Healy, and some great captaincy from Alan Border. This is the card of the Indian second innings. They started off at 6 for 104, 156 all out. Shastri just missed for 41, and Prabhakar for 39. Then Kieran Moray, Raju and Srinath couldn't match what they did in the first innings, 156, and the Australian bowling, quite superb, those 3 fellas. McDermott, 25 overs, 7 maidens, 4 for 47. Merv Hughes, 16 overs, 4 maidens, 4 for 50. Didn't add to the 4 he took early yesterday, but did a great job. And Michael Whitney thoroughly deserved the 2 for 55 he picked up from 17.2 overs and 3 maidens. So at the start of the Australian second innings, they needed just 56 for what would be a splendid victory.
Raju is it finally. He's got quite a long chase and an easy 2 for Taylor.
David Boone will be hoping that he's not required here today. Seated alongside Jim Higgs, the Australian selector.
Just short of Azharuddin at first slip. I think they do tend to field a little bit too deep, the Indian slip fielders.
Another very good delivery here. In-swinger to the left-hander. A good thick edge, but never really looked like carrying.
Like that. Shastri has the chase.
Again, a fairly full-length delivery, this time swinging into leg stump. Only one fielder to beat in front of the wicket on the leg side. That's Ravi Shastri, and that's exactly what it does.
Close, very close. Maybe inside edge. There wasn't any support from behind the wicket. Or was it just missing leg stump?
There'd better been an inside edge on that, otherwise it was very, very close. Let's have another look. Just a little bit of movement back here off the seam. And it may just have been sneaking down the leg side. But I tell you what, it was close. This is from the stump down at the other end. And that looked as if it would hit middle of the leg, thereabout, from that angle.
Catch it was a cry, but it flies away between point and gully for 4.
Yes, it was certainly in the air, but luckily for Marsh, it was into the gap. This was just a little wide and just short of a length, but he decided to go for it. And you can see the line there, just behind point. And it went flying away to the boundary. The Gabba. It's 3 love. And what's more, it's about to be 4 love.
It's very important from India's point of view. They keep the pressure on here and try and pick up a wicket or 2. Got Australia for 340 in the first innings. Close, no ball. Wow, there's the umpire's arm out. Steve Randall, the half shout for the LBW.
Yeah, that saved you as well. Up goes the arm there. I don't think it would have made much difference to the shot. And it may just have been a little high too. It hit the roll, the pad. It's a good ball though from Dev, straightening down the line.
And it's going to be the left arm orthodox spinner from the Stanley Street end now, Venkat Raju. That'll get away to the boundary. Late cut. That's going to be 1 bounce and over the boundary fence, so that reduces the target now to 17. It was a very good story as we watch Mark Taylor loft that one over mid-wicket. Arthur Wood, who was the wicketkeeper for England in that match, made 53. And there's a repeat dose, a little squarer. So the margin now is down to 13. So Arthur Wood made 53, and one of his mates congratulated him when he got back to the pavilion. And Arthur said, "That's okay." He said, "I'm always at my best in a crisis." Now Arthur came in at the fall of the 6th wicket when the score was 770. One hell of a crisis, that. 28 to Mark Taylor, 15 to Geoffrey Marsh. None for 49, and with just 7 needed, it looks like Azharuddin is virtually well, I guess you can't say he's going to make a present of the runs because Tendulkar does bowl a bit, but it's usually around about this stage in a game where the captain gives a few of the batsmen a bit of a trundle. Quite often they go through their repertoire and do a few different actions with bowlers that are reasonably well known. And that may well have been a Prabhakar takeoff.
He likes to bounce that ball around a bit. He used to do that very regularly in schools cricket. And come to think of it, it's just a couple of years ago that he used to play schools cricket.
We'll just get 2 for the shot. Wasn't a bad delivery. Came back off the seam. And that's his 10,000th run in first-class cricket. But it's not the winning runs because Amray, the substitute fielder, has got a boot on it, restricted it to 2. Australia need 2 more for victory. 31 to Mark Taylor, 17 to Jeffrey Marsh. None for 54, and it's going to be Mandraker. There they are, coming with a boundary. So 35 to Mark Taylor and 17 to Jeffrey Marsh. Australia none for 58, and a 10-wicket victory to the Australians. Their second time a 10-wicket victory over India. For that, they can thank their bowlers, mostly the pace bowlers, headed by McDermott, Merv Hughes and Mike Whitney. Those three getting all 10 wickets in the second innings. So a comfortable victory to Australia, and Sonny, a disappointing performance from particularly the Indian batsmen.
Yes, there's a lot of homework they'll have to do. Get back to playing the 5-day game. I think they're still in the one-day frame of mind. They've been playing a lot of one-day cricket, and hopefully the team's think tank will look at the faults, correct them for the second test, so a better fight can be put up.
So Mark Taylor hitting the winning runs there with the boundary, and Australia lead 1-0 in this series. We'll be back at the Gabba in just a moment with the presentations hosted by Richie Benaud.
It was a great performance from the Australians, not necessarily because they didn't lose a wicket. There wasn't so much pressure on out there on Taylor and Marsh, but because the whole side played so well all the way through this match. They did look once or twice as though they could be beaten. They came back with courage and with skill. This is their card in the second innings. First of all, you have Taylor 35 not out, and then Marsh 17 not out. There were 6 extras, 58 without loss from 24.5 overs. And the bowling figures, Kapil Dev, Prabhakar, Srinath, Raju, Tendulkar and Manjrekar all bowled and all failed to take a wicket. Now here's Tony Greig in the presentation area with the two skippers and the player of the match.
Certainly am, Rich, and I can tell you that during this Benson Hedges Test Series, $120,000 in prize money will pass out of these little fingers of mine into the hands of the players, one way or the other. Alan Border is the recipient of the winner's cheque this time round, $6,000. Well played. Very good start for Australia.
Oh, tremendous start to the season, Tony. Just very happy with the way things went. We bowled well and took our catches and put together a reasonable sort of score on a difficult wicket. So, yeah, I'm very happy with the way it started.
Good toss to win?
I think so. I think the wicket had early life, and that's when we did a little bit of damage before lunch, and India sort of struggled up from that point on, and we probably got the best of conditions as far as batting is concerned.
And tremendous performance by the two big fellas, Craig McDermott and Merv Hughes in particular.
Well, Craig's been in great form this year, so it was sort of expected of him, but Merv has been struggling, so his performance, especially yesterday, was excellent, and hopefully he'll just keep getting better and better as the summer goes on.
Congratulations, very well played.
Thanks, Tony.
Right, well, I've got $3,000 here for Mohammed Azharuddin as well. Bad luck. That is a bad start for your side. It seems to me that you've got a few problems with the batting.
Yeah, I think so, because it has gone the other way around, because we thought we had a very good batting side, but I think the bowlers have done really a good job, very good job, and we struggled in the batting. I hope things will improve.
Does it just take a bit of time to get used to the bounce out here, I suppose?
No, you should get used to it when you're playing at this level. There should not be any excuse for that.
So we can expect a comeback from India?
Hopefully, yes.
Right, well, good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in. Well, the man of the match, we mentioned Craig McDermott, and he's got a cheque here for $1,000, as well as this Baccarat Crystal Decanter. Craig, congratulations. Very well bowled.
Thank you.
Yeah, great year. 51 wickets in the calendar year so far.
Yeah, it's been good. Hopefully I can add a few more at Christmas time.
Is there anything you can put it down to?
Basically just a lot of hard work, I spent a big think over my whole sort of career about 2 years ago, and, I had to do a lot of work, and I think I put in the hard work, and now I'm starting to get a few rewards for it all.
Well, it was good to see both you and Merv operating out there. Very well bowled. Congratulations, and we look forward to some more great performances during the summer.
Okay, thanks, Tony.
Thank you very much for coming on. Well, Richie, that's all from down here. Back to you.
Thanks, Tony. Tony Greig with the two skippers and the player of the match, Craig McDermott, who was also player of the match the last time he played a test in this country. That was in Perth against England at the end of the series last year. That match is coming up at the weekend, also in Perth, the start of the Benson Hedges World Series Cup competition. It's West Indies against India on Friday. That's a day-night match. And bear in mind, the game on Sunday, Australia-India, is a day game. And the Australian team chosen for that match. Alan Border is skipper, Jeff Marsh, David Boone, Dean Jones. Tom Moody comes in, so does Steve Waugh. Then Simon O'Donnell, Craig McDermott, Ian Healy, Peter Taylor, Bruce Reid and Michael Whitney. So those games coming up in Perth. We look forward to having you with us for those. For the moment, from the Gabba, it's goodbye.